So this is me and my husband leaving Boston to head to Aruba. We had an early flight, a 5 a.m. flight, and it was about a 5-ish hour straight flight to Aruba. No stops. This is us getting picked up and heading to our hotel. We had the vouchers included for the airport transfer, so that was really easy to get from the airport straight to the hotel. We stayed at the Divi all-inclusive resort in Aruba, which we really loved. This is us on the beach there, which the beach was beautiful. It was never too crowded, and we always had plenty of room for activities. The water was nice and clear, and we had tables and chairs and rafts and all that supplied by the hotel that we could use at any time. This is my husband just taking a swim there. And this is me running along the beach. And as you can see, there's really no one around us, and we kind of had our own privacy, which was nice. This is one of the dinners. This was called the Red Parrot restaurant at the Divi, and you can make reservations and you can order as many meals or appetizers as you want. So that was really cool. We got to try a lot of things. This was one of our excursions that we did, was parasailing, which was a lot of fun. It was very nice and steady, kind of hang over about 10 minutes. You gotta get in the air and hang over the water, which is really cool. You could see turtles and see right down through the blue sky, or the blue water, and you can look out and see the whole island right in front of you. We made friends with some of the people on our parasailing boats. They were able to get some footage of us, and we were able to return the favor and get some of them as well. This is the boat that actually picked us up to bring us to and from parasailing. So it picked us up from our resort area. So it was very convenient. It just brought us right over. So we kind of felt like it was 2 excursions in one, because we got the boat ride and the parasailing. This is us relaxing at the beach again. This was an Asian cuisine, another dinner place at the Divi Resort. As you can see, we got a bunch of different food options to try. So that was delicious there, one of our favorites. This here is a little downtownish area connected to the resort. It had a casino and a few shops, so we were able to walk down there when we wanted. Right here we are at another dinner place. This was an Italian restaurant, which was very good. The resort had about 4 different sit-down restaurants to choose from, so you can decide where you want to go and make reservations for. This was another downtown area. This right here is a outdoor flea market type place. So we actually took a cab to downtown Aruba and got to explore this area. Right here is an outdoor mall that my husband was just standing in front of. It was, they said it was the most expensive mall on the island. It had like brand name stores like Louis Vuitton and Gucci and things like that. So nice to kind of window shop there and look around. This you can see is the outdoor flea market again in the downtown, and the cruise port is actually right behind that there on the other side. So you can see the cruises coming in. I believe they said Fridays was the day that they have cruises coming into the island, so that was busier on those days. You can see actually right here in the background of my dancing, you can actually see the cruise ship docked right behind me there. So this was a lot of fun. They were playing some music in the background, and we kind of got to dance around and have fun there. It was very islandy. And this here is a golf kind of excursion, I guess you can call it. This is the Divi Golf and Spa Resort, so it's another resort. It wasn't the Divi all-inclusive that we stayed at, but it was part of the same company, so we actually could walk here from our resort, and you can see it's beautiful. They had a package that you could do, I think it was like $20, and you get to be a part of a scramble, and you get rental shoes, golf cart, clubs, a drink voucher, and prizes, and you get to be a part of the golf scramble. So my husband loved that and was able to do that for a few hours there, as while I took a golf lesson at the same resort. Again, it was really affordable. It was an hour-long golf lesson with one of the golf pros there, and it was $10 for that. So it will show in a little bit. We'll show the area I was in, but it kind of got to practice your putting and your driving, and it was nice to do something like that while my husband was doing his golf scramble. So he's driving away there. This right here is the part that I was in. So this is where all the people taking the golf lesson were. It's a nice small group. I think there's about 6 of us that got to do that. So it was really well done. This is some more footage of the beach that we were staying at. Our resort is right on the beach, so we spent a lot of time here. The Divi Resort is where we stayed, but they actually have a sister resort called the Tamarian Resort that was connected to the Divi, and you can actually walk, the pathway or take a tram right over to the sister resort, and you had access to everything in that sister resort. So including, food, drinks, the activities, you had access to both resorts, and vice versa. If you stayed at the Tamarian, you had access to everything over at the Divi. So that was a really cool feature. And this was another restaurant. This was a hibachi restaurant. It was very good. They will actually pair you with another couple and put you together. So we got to meet some people from different countries and that were also on their honeymoon. This was another excursion that we did. This was a Jeep tour, and it took us around the other side of the island. So the side that the resorts weren't at, it was the more desert side of Aruba, and it had a bunch of different places and different things to see. So we're at the natural pool right now. And this was the natural bridge behind us, and it had a little food place inside that we got to try some cheese and bread dish from that people in Aruba made, which was really good. This was a little chapel that was in the middle of the island of the desert, so they actually have services every Tuesday night, so that was interesting to see that the people would go out there every Tuesday night to have their outdoor service. This is us driving to all the different places in the desert. You can see that's what the roads look like. It was very, very dry and hot and looked exactly like a desert. But you can see the ocean right behind it too. And all these different cars were different parts of the tour. So they're all on the same tour, but everyone had their different tour guide. So we were able to kind of race each other and go around there with each of our tour guides, which was fun. And there's some wild goats that were on the mountain, but you can see us making our way down more near the water. You can see all the different tour guides and the different Jeeps that were around the area. It was a very bumpy ride and a very dirty ride. They told you not to wear white because you get very dirty and with the dust coming up. And definitely very bumpy. It kind of threw you out of your seat a little bit, but it was a lot of fun. And this is my husband getting the food that they provided us on the trip, which that was what I was just talking about, the cheese inside the pastry, which is very good. And this is showing the natural bridge again, and can't really see there, but it was a very, very deep drop off, so it was cool to see. And this is one of the gold mines that they brought us to in the tour. And it kind of just looked like a bunch of rocks, but they said people would actually go out there and dig to find gold. So it was, it's called, read that. And this is us back in the Jeep again to our next destination. This over on the right was us passing some horses and some people on horseback, which is actually another excursion that you can do. And then coming up here that's a different excursion where you can actually drive your own cars with the little Jeeps with no doors. So you can drive those as well, and that's a different excursion. Also, this was a little fruit stand that was in the desert near the chapel that we saw. He's cutting up some fruit, and they had, coconuts and watermelon and smoothies. They also had little booths where you can buy little, gifts to take home. And this was the chapel again. People could buy candles to leave there and to light it up and leave right inside the chapel. You can see the outdoor seating. This is the church that's open every Tuesday that people come to and sit right outside, and it's a really small little chapel right in the middle of the desert. These are some stray dogs. There was stray dogs everywhere, stray dogs and stray cats kind of all over the island. And back in the Jeep again. This is why they tell you not to wear white. You can see how dirty it is and how much dirt is flying up from the other cars. So it's really the other cars around you that are flinging the dirt on you. And this is our last stop, which was the lighthouse. We ran out of time on the tour, so we didn't actually get out of the Jeep, but we did drive by it and got to see what it was and what it looked like. And then we headed back to the resort, and what you'll see here is us going by the beach areas again and heading back to the resort side of the island. And these are the mansions of Aruba. These are $1 million homes that you can see they're not too big, but they do have a direct view of the ocean across the street. So you'll see here in a second that that's the view that they have across the street right here. The houses are right on the other side. So very neat, very easy access to them, to the ocean, and very pretty view. They called it the Beverly Hills of Aruba. And over here is an area that you can go snorkeling. We didn't actually get to do that trip, but people were saying that was a great area to go. And us back at the island. This is us. This is actually at the buffet area that is open all the time that you can go to. And here we're at the sister resort, the Tamarian. Like I said, that is connected to the Divi all-inclusive resort. So we can utilize their activities. So this is us utilizing their kayaks and taking them out on the water. You can also do snorkeling. They had yoga classes. They had water aerobics and some nightly entertainment at both islands that you could kind of choose what you wanted. And this is us at our special honeymoon newlywed dinner that they had included for us because we were on our honeymoon. And all these couples around us were also newlyweds, so this was not at our resort, but they sent a car to pick us all up. There's like a van, and they brought us to this special dinner right on the water. And they had champagne and a menu that you could pick out what you wanted, and dessert. And you had a waitress that waited on you, and as you can see, the water is right behind you, so it was really pretty. And we could watch the sunset and everything right from the water there. So it was a nice little special dinner that we got to enjoy. And this is our waitress here popping our champagne and giving us a little toast. And there's a view of what it looked like behind and the side of us. This was actually at a hotel. I'm not sure the name of it, but you can eat here and stay here as well. But we just had that reserved for us that night for the special dinner. You can see it's just a really beautiful view. And this is me trying some food there. It was very delicious.
Nah, that's not it. Not now.
My husband and I each tried something different and were able to kind of share and try different things.
Take another bite. It's gonna be like a food break.
I was trying some different type of lettuce there.
Or gaikieri, say.
What is that? It tastes like
And the sun's starting to set. You can see right over the water. It's a perfect picture opportunity. All the couples, including us, are all kind of getting out there shortly to try to capture the picture of the sunset. It's very relaxing. And they did this towards the end of our trip, so we had a couple days after this, but it was a nice way to start winding down the trip. And you can see the sun setting there. We were able to get some nice photos.
we're like 6 miles.
And after it ended, the same van that picked us up was able to bring us back to the hotel as well. So all this was included in our hotel stay because we were on our honeymoon. We just had to bring our marriage certificate just to prove that we were on our honeymoon. They were able to include that in the price. And this was one of the nightly shows that they had, or week. They had about a couple a week, and this was at the sister resort over at the Tamarian. And this is their pool area. Again, you can see there's just some acrobats and some dancing. And they basically put chairs and seating and pool seating all around the pool. And that's where everyone could sit and watch the show. And you can get some food and bring it over. You can get a drink and bring it over and watch the entertainment. It wasn't anything too crazy, but it was entertaining and it was definitely fun to watch. So we did enjoy it. Most of the shows and the performances that they did do were at the Tamarian Resort. They had a different pool set up. As you can see, they have a large empty concrete space that enables them to do more of the shows, whereas the Divvy pool does not have that big empty space there. So most of these shows were over at the sister resort. And this trip in total, it was 10 days long, and for my husband and I, it cost just under $4,000, and that did include round-trip transportation to and from Aruba and back to Boston, Mass. And it included all our food and our drinks while we were there as well. We did pay extra for the extra excursions off the resort, but other than that, everything was pretty much included. So we did feel like it was a good deal for, all the things and activities and the food and everything that we got. We definitely enjoyed it. And this is them finishing up their performance here, which was definitely entertaining. And this was another little shop area. Like I said, the sister resort, the Tamarian, had a little area where you could shop or go to the casino. So that was all walking distance. And this is us taking a cab. Again, that was the downtown area where you had to take a cab ride to, but we wanted to kind of go down there again just to check it out one more time. And this is us in the mall area, the outdoor mall. You can see nothing was ever very crowded when we were there, which was nice. That's my husband sitting in. Those are one of the little cars there that you can rent and go around the desert part of the island, like that one excursion that I showed earlier. This was another one of the shops. And then this is some other nightly entertainment. This was at our resort, the Divvy, and they always had some sort of music or something going on. So this was a live musician that was sitting and singing, so you can gather around and listen, or you can lay in the hammock or the pool area and just listen. And those little lizards are all over the island. And I think that was the only time it did rain once for about 8 minutes. And you could see everything's a little wet. And then it very quickly stopped and it was back to the 85 and sunny with the slight breeze. And it pretty much stayed that way the entire time. They said it stays that way basically 365 days of the year. And here we are all packed up and waiting for our cab ride back. And the airport transfers and the shuttles are all included with our price as well. So got packed up, took a cab ride back to the airport, and headed back home to Boston.
Please subscribe by hitting the subscribe button or click on the frog icon on the video. Don't forget to click the bell to get notified of our future videos. And of course, please click on the thumbs up.
And remember, stay young and have fun.